Hello and welcome to Tarek and Valerie. I'm Valerie and I am here with my guide Tarek, and we communicate using these divining or dowsing rods. And if you're new to this channel, when Tarek has a yes answer, he crosses, and when he has a no answer, he opens. And then sometimes he will give us a message by spelling out words, or I spell out the letters and then he crosses for just make the words. And today we wanted to talk about how Trump came into power and maybe some of the reasonings behind that. So, about 10 years ago, I can't believe it's been 10 years, is when Trump really entered the political arena. And he has, of course, created a whole lot of chaos. And we're pretty much a country and or a world divided. So there's two camps: those who see him as this fabulous person who is fixing everything and was going to come in and stop the pedophiles and throw people in prison and stop the corruption, and other people saw him as somebody who's more of a charlatan and who was somebody who's a grifter and a con man and a failed businessman. And we're looking at the same set of situations and we just see it so differently. So I'm just really curious if there's a greater purpose behind how he rose to power and why we see him so differently, because it does not seem to be just right versus left politically. It's not just conservative versus liberal. Tarek is agreeing to all of this, which is why it keeps crossing. It seems to be that Trump really he sees money and power and authority as successful, and empathy and diversity and compassion as weak. And it seems like the two camps are kind of divided into those groups as well. And some people are drawn to him because they want that strong man, that who they think is a good businessman, to lead us in the right direction. And the other side sees it completely the opposite, that he's tearing us apart and turning us into an authoritarian fascist society. So we're very different. So going back to 2016, Tarek, is there a reason that somebody like Trump, who has sown a lot of division, was put into power from a uh, higher perspective? Yes, there was. And is he here to complete? Is this kind of a mission that he was given to complete? Is he, at his core as a human, a good person? No. Is there a particular purpose as to why he was put into power at the time that he was? And it sounds like he wants to give us a message. So let's see what Tarek has to say, what might be behind the scenes of the reasoning that somebody like Trump has really transformed and instigated a lot of change. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, W, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, W, A, S. Sorry, I was going fast. W, A, R, war. Is that the word? More letters? Okay. A, W, A, R, A, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, A, Warasa. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. Warsaw? Like Warsaw, Poland? Is there another word? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E. Meet, like a Warsaw meeting. Was there a meeting in Warsaw prior to his first administration? And there was a plan put in place that he would run for president? Can you tell us like who was involved or why, what this was about? Like, why was there a plan to put him in power? Okay, A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Epstein? So are you saying that back in 2015, 2016, there was a plan put in place for Trump to run for president because of the Epstein situation to help them cover it up? Will this come out? Are there other leaders in place, like in high positions? I know we've talked about some of this before that were involved in this meeting. And so they're all working together because they're involved in some sort of global sex trafficking ring, and having people at the highest echelons would be able to keep that under wraps. And he's giving that a big, huge yes. So we've talked about before that potentially we've got leaders of other countries. We've said Putin and Netanyahu for sure. Are there people in the United States, like on the Supreme Court? Is Pam Bondi, was she aware of this back then? As we know, she's hiding the Epstein files now, but she was aware back then. So this was like a big plan put in place. And in 2016, when Trump was running, he was running on a platform that he was going to expose the people in this sex trafficking ring, which is why he got a lot of support, because a lot of the people wanted to see people go to prison, and they wanted to find out what happened to missing children and exploited children, and they thought he was going to be their guy and the savior who was going to find all of this out for them. And meanwhile, there was a plan in place, according to you, that he was doing the exact opposite. So here we are now in 2026, and there's been, the Epstein files are supposed to come out, and they're clearly doing everything they can to keep those from coming out. I'm really curious, though, about the people who supported him because that's what they wanted to see. And now there seems to be a lot of silence on that. So, outside of like politicians and people in power, your everyday people who were supporting him are going to have some reckoning to do with that. Like, they're going to have to really have an eye-opening experience when this comes out. Are they starting to see that? Wow. So, from a higher perspective, this is all going to come out in the light of day, and we will get to the bottom of who's involved and how high up it goes and how much corruption is here. Will there be justice for the victims and the survivors? Saying yes, big yes. Wow. So this is way bigger than any of us really could have fathomed. And it's far and wide and deep, and I guess follow the money, follow the money. And that'll probably lead us places, but it sounds like banks are involved as well. Okay. Okay. Well, if any of you have any comments or any other things you'd like me to ask Tarek as this starts to crack open, please let me know. I'm happy to ask the questions, and Tarek is going to give us the information from the higher realms and perspectives. And again, if you haven't, please like and subscribe to our channel. We'll be talking about a lot more about this topic as well as a lot of others. And it sounds like there's a lot of information in our future that's going to really crack things open. So thank you for watching, and that'll do it for today's episode. And Tarek says goodbye and gives us all a big warm hug. Hang in there. We're going to get through this together, and better days will be ahead. Thank you.